Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Development Review Board for April 14th. Going to call the meeting to order at 6:05. Appreciate everyone's patience as we battled some technical difficulties. First order of business, we've got the roll call. All members are present. Next on the agenda, we have the recess public hearing for Shaw's Supermarket. Do we have anyone here to speak on behalf of Shaw's Supermarket today?
My name is Bill Faraday with Vertec. I can speak on most of it, I think.
Okay.
I'll try.
And if I'm correct, you both gentlemen were sworn in last time, if not the time before?
A few times back I was...
Okay.
Yes.
Sounds good. Do you want to provide us an update with for Shaw's Supermarket?
Yeah, I was not in attendance for the last meeting. I know Nicholas was in attendance and Dean Lynch was in attendance. Since the last meeting, quite a bit has been done. We're waiting on a lot of the floodgates to arrive. And all of the flood barriers and gates have arrived finally. Just as of 2 days, I think it was last Thursday, we received the last couple gates that we were waiting on. So all the floodgates have been installed. There's one that we're finishing up right now that's in the front of the building that might take us another day just to finalize everything on it. But definitely by Wednesday, all the gates will be in, they're functioning. We've got some painting. Now that the weather's warmed up a little bit, the painting is planned to be done between this week and the beginning of the following week. And that goes for the waterproofing too, that remains to go around some of the cement 4-foot walls. So certainly by the end of this week, beginning of the following week, we should be 100% with everything. It's a lot different. We were waiting on these areas that got delayed for months, and then they started coming in, drips and drabs, and finally have everything's installed. So much better shape.
So when you say basically in the course of 2 weeks, that the entire project will be done in regards to the flood proofing?
Correct.
Okay. And so what do you think is the expected timeline for you to be able to get us a dry flood proofing certificate?
So we have a meeting with Nicholas, I believe on the 24th, which is next Thursday. We're going to do a walk together, and then he'll provide his letter. And Nick, I don't know if you want to speak on how long it takes to get a certificate. I've never done this before, so I'm not sure of the time frame and what else goes into it.
Well, the certificate is, to my understanding, is the form we have that my civil engineer will visit the site next week to verify that the heights of the flood barriers conform and is above the base flood elevation or the design flood elevation. And then he inputs that information, stamps and signs that part of the form. I go out there next week on the 24th, check everything again. I was there last week, I'll go again next week. Make sure that everything was installed per plans and specs. And then I stamp and sign my portion of that form. I'll have to update portions of the manual that gets submitted, the instruction manual and installation or implementation manual. I'll update that after my site visit, and then that will all get submitted to you as one final package.
So the only other thing that was on our list was your certified elevation certificate. So that will be part of that package as well?
Yeah, it's one of the sections on that proofing certificate, and my civil engineer will stamp and sign that.
Okay. And so our next meeting date would be, looks like the 19th, I think, right? Is that correct, Jared?
The next DRB hearing
Yeah.
is May 12th.
12th, okay. So do you think it's feasible that you'll have all that information and documentation completed by next month? So we might be able to wrap this very long, arduous journey up?
Yeah, absolutely. I was shooting for the end of April to have that package over to you.
Okay.
And that'll give you some time to take a look at it and then comment on anything on the 12th.
Okay. Perfect. Does the board members have any questions?
Does the state have to approve it?
State's already approved the design when they gave their comment letter
But
from,
do they have to come down and inspect it?
I don't believe so, but
I called Kyle Medash, the floodplains manager, and asked him those same questions, and he said no. He said, like you said, the design has been approved by the state, and with this certification from us certifying that it's been installed properly, then it's kind of in your hands to accept the certificate.
Any other questions from the board? Okay, I make a motion that we recess this public hearing till the May meeting.
I'll second.
Discussion?
I have one more question.
Sure, of course.
There was some signage that we wanted to change out on the street. Is that a form that we could talk about now?
No, so we'd asked that at last meeting, we needed some more information on the signage, in regards to the, I believe the term is square footage rows, right? That's how it goes off of?
It's a separate application. This is Jared speaking here. It's a separate, simple sign application that's separate from this DRB hearing application, which is the matter of the dry flood proofing. So I spoke with Nadine earlier today and just reminded her that I will be in touch with her to discuss the signs probably tomorrow.
Okay, great.
Any other discussion?
No, thank you.
I don't see any hands. Can you just confirm, Jared?
I cannot see that.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much. We appreciate the update.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, we're going to open a new public hearing for Winter Place COA. Go ahead, Jared.
This is application number 081-94-PRD, amendment number 20. The applicant is John Watanabe, and the property owner is Winter Place Condominium Owners Association. The application is to convert attic space into bonus rooms for units H302 and Q303. This project is in the Mountain Recreation District. The hearing date is today, April 14th, 2025, 6 p.m. Public postings were at the town clerk's office, town hall bulletin boards on March 12th, at the post office and town website on March 19th, in the newspaper of record, the Vermont Journal, on March 19th, and the property owners, the abutting property owners were notified on March 28th, 2025.
Thank you, Jared. The Planning and Zoning Office received and provided documentation listed in the index 001 through 025 to the board for review. Is somebody here to speak on behalf?
John Watanabe from Winter
Okay.
Place.
And anyone else here to speak on this? Okay, I'll swear in. Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give relative to the matter now under consideration shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury?
I do.
Okay, how about you tell us about your project?
Okay, so this is a continuation of our loft build-outs. We have, just as a refresher, we have a total eligible units of about 75, of which we've completed 25 at this point. So we're about a third of the way there. And the way that it kind of works is the association kind of puts out an offering to the owners that are eligible for these units, and accordingly, the association will put the package together and present it as the applicant on behalf of the owners to the board for these loft build-outs. And typically, the way that they've worked is they're qualified as bonus rooms with no plumbing and no bedrooms.
Is there anything special about these bonus rooms?
No. They're consistent with others that we've done in like kind. There was I did have, and I assume everybody's received the latest copy of the Ludlow Fire, the Chief Whalen's letter today, which supersedes his letter of March 27th.
Well, I don't have that in
No,
mind.
we didn't. I didn't see that.
So let me just answer
We
this.
don't
Yeah,
have that.
we'll add that to the record. Yep.
And the only difference on that one is, in the first letter, if everybody has the first letter, he says the buildings shall be completely sprinkled. And in that unit, it's the unit. So
That's the only change?
That's the only change.
John?
Go ahead.
When you started, you just said if they qualify, for a bonus room.
Right.
What does that mean?
Well, because not all, I mean, it's only the top level units that are eligible, and they have to have existing lofts. So that's what the qualifier is.
So some of the units don't meet.
Most of the units don't. I mean, there's about 286 units, of which only 75 are eligible.
Just that first one.
John, just to be clear, the units themselves are sprinkled already, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
We'll pass this back to Jared so you can put that in your record. Are you okay with all the conditions that were listed?
I am.
Okay. Does board members have any other questions?
Now, there's windows up there so they can get out.
There are no windows in the top space, but in the case where there's room for a window, we force them to put one in. Not all units are eligible to put a window in. They'd love to have them, but
Not always necessarily possible.
because it follows the contours of a roof line, it's just not feasible in some cases.
Okay. And just to restate what you said, that these are not for bedrooms, not for bathrooms.
That's correct.
Okay.
Still, if there's a fire, how will they get out?
Well, they're fully sprinkled.
Yeah, they're fully sprinkled.
John, down the road though, there's really no mechanism to know whether these are bedrooms or not. Is that correct?
There really isn't. The ones that we've gone through, they've been more like playrooms. They're really used for the kids with these units of what we've seen. So, I mean, we haven't seen, and the majority of those units really don't even fall into the rental pool from what I've seen. The majority of the rentals at Winter Place are probably not necessarily the loft units as they are all the rest of the units. Not the duplexes, but the 2 and 3 bedrooms.
Then John, how much square footage of living space is being added to
So
these?
in best case, it's about 450 square feet. In worst case, it's about 250.
Other questions from the board? I make a motion that we close this hearing.
I'll second that.
Discussion? No hands raised on Zoom, Jared? Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Next on the agenda is the minutes. So in last month's, we said that we were going to do February's, but because it was not listed this month, we can only do March, and we will address February's next month, and we'll make sure we put that on the agenda. Does anyone have any changes to the March minutes? Excuse me.
I didn't have any.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And we do have some information there for your purview for the mill MOU update as well, under other business. Also, in your, did receive the judgment from the Environmental Supreme Court. Here's the 3 Gill Terrace DRB decision appeal. I think everyone's got a copy at this point for them to read through, and we do have some actions we have to take. It is remanded for 2 purposes. For site grade and building height that were not properly quoted in the decision. Does anyone have any other business? Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, folks.
This is a shorty.